I'm Janice Andersen and I'm a sculptor. And today while I'm cleaning my tools, I don't do this very often, but every once in a while they just get so much clay on them that I thought, well, I'll talk to you a little bit about something that's been on my mind, something that might be helpful for you while I clean my tools. And that thing that I want to talk to you about is time. We are all busy. Where do you find the time to do something creative, something that you really want to do? And I don't care if you paint or if you're writing a song or a screenplay or sculpting. Anytime you want to do something creative, you need to take time. Time where you can be by yourself and really concentrate on what you're doing. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Actually, I also want to tell you about these. I've made a couple of these. What I do is I take doweling that's about the thickness of a pencil, and I go ahead and I sharpen the ends, both ends, as though it were a pencil, and then I burn them, and then scribble all of the charcoal off of it on both ends. And I love these little things because you can pick them up and you can, go back and forth with them. And I wanted to show those to you. Here's an old one that needs cleaning, and also it's kind of cracked. So that's why I made some new ones. To start out with our little conversation on time, I want to tell you about a lady named Erma Bombeck. Maybe some of you have heard of Erma Bombeck. Maybe some of you have read her books. But she was a lady that was very talented. She's a funny woman, very funny. And she had an article in newspapers. I always thought she lived in my hometown because she had a column in my hometown newspaper. And then I found out later she had a column in a lot of hometown newspapers, not just mine. But anyway, ever since that, I've kind of held on to her and thought of her as one of my favorite authors, because she is. Anytime I want to read something funny, I read Erma Bombeck. But there was a time in her life when she really wanted to write. And yet she had a family, she was busy, and she didn't want to let them down. She wanted to do everything. She wanted to bake the cookies for Girl Scouts. She wanted to do everything. She wanted to be involved with her family. She wanted to keep her home nice. So when was she going to find time? She came up with an idea, and I've heard of other people who have done a very similar thing. And that is, she decided 3 days a week, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, she would take 3 hours out of each of those days, and that would be her time. She would go in her office, which I think was actually in her bedroom office. She would go in there and shut the door, and there was a sign on the door that said, "Unless the house is on fire, do not bother me." And she had talked to her family ahead of time. She told them what she was planning to do, and they were on board. They knew that Mom, her husband knew my wife is a talented woman, and I want to give her the time that she needs so that she can do her writing. So, and that's only 9 hours a week. It's just not very much time. So she did not take a phone in with her. She did not answer the door. If somebody was home and they answered the door and someone was looking for Mom, they were told, "No, she's at work. She's very busy right now. Can I take a message? And I'll have her get back in touch with you." And her family was very helpful. They were ready to do it. And so the very first time that she had this 3-hour block of time, she went into her office, her bedroom office in the beginning. She probably had an office later. And nothing happened. She went in and she couldn't think of anything. She thought, "No, this is my time. I have to come up with something. My family is going to be asking me what I got done. Did I finish my book? Oh, all kinds of things. And I'm going to tell them I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't get anything done. But she stayed there. She stayed there for the full 3 hours. She did all that she could to make that time useful. And then she stuck with it. She did it the second time and the third time. And each time she did it, she was a little more successful. And eventually, after so many weeks, probably maybe even a couple of months, she found that she was just chomping at the bit to get in there and get started because she just had all of these ideas. She said, what happened was my mind started collecting ideas. And I'm sure in between, the days in between, she wrote notes and she was ready to go in there with notes, taking in her typewriter, because that's what you used back then, a typewriter, and a ream of paper and her notes. She went in and she was ready. She said, my mind seemed to kind of organize and catalog and help prepare me for this 3-hour block of time. Isn't that amazing that your mind can help you with that? So I wanted to pass that on to you. And like I said, I've heard of other people doing very similar things, and you would need to take the idea and then customize it for you. You might have to work only at nighttime. But you know, if it's something you love, if it's something you really want to do, you'll be able to find time for it. I wish you all the best. I didn't get much done on my cleaning, but I'll keep going here. I wish you all the best with your sculpting. I just love this art form. I don't know if it reminds me of playing in the mud when I was a little kid. I'm not sure what it is, but I love sculpting. I love the clay. I love making the armatures. I love figuring out how to fix it so that it won't fall over when it gets too tall. And I hope you do too. I hope you're enjoying it. And if you can subscribe, I would love that. And until next time, don't miss the joy. See ya. Bye-bye.